Hey guys, it's Candace here with Solstice Counseling, and today's video is for you if you are a self-help junkie. If you have a pile of dog-eared, highlighted self-help books next to your bed that you have read and read and read, searching for the answers to why your life really isn't working. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my experience with self-help books, and you may find that this resonates with you or that you're in the same position. So back when I was in this terrible relationship that I could not get myself out of, I read every self-help book that I could think of. And here's what happened for me is that I was applying the techniques, or I was taking the action that the book suggested, but it wasn't working, or it wasn't working to the extent that I needed. So maybe you are in a position in your life where you are recognizing, I just attract partners that are not good for me, or every time my mother comes around, I turn into a 5-year-old and I can't stand up for myself, or I really have problems in my life setting boundaries and saying no to people. So you run to the self-help section at Barnes & Nobles and you pick up a book and you read it, and it doesn't quite get it. Here's also what happened for me is that I would read these books and I would get really clear on my patterns. I understood why I was doing the things that I was doing, but the knowledge just made me a more informed prisoner, and I felt worse and worse about myself because I got it, I understood why, I just didn't know how to make it any different for myself. And I don't know if you're experiencing that same thing, but it was so frustrating for me to know that I was searching so hard for the answers, and I was doing everything I knew to do to find them for myself, and nothing was really clicking in a way that I needed it to click. And not only that, after reading the latest book or being so hopeful that this time, the book would give me the answer, I would be disappointed and I would feel even more hopeless, and I would actually feel a little bit worse about myself because I must be the only person that this doesn't work for. So here's what actually helped me was when I made the decision to commit 100% to my healing. I realized we don't heal in a vacuum. We don't heal in isolation. We need other people to be what I call benevolent witnesses to our pain, to our emotions. We need at least one other person who is safe and that we trust. A community is even better, but at least one other person who is not going to judge us, who is going to just hold us and support us and nurture us, and also reflect back to us the beauty of ourselves and the goodness of ourselves, because we don't see it. We don't give ourselves credit for that. We don't acknowledge it. And very often it's because we are trying to do it all by ourselves and we can't. So that really was a turning point for me when I realized I need to put down the self-help books and I need to be in relationship with at least one other person. For me, it happened to be a community of people, but I needed to start engaging with people and interacting with people, because that's what heals. It's not sitting in a room by myself underlining a passage in a book that ultimately isn't going to get me to where I want to go. Now, don't get me wrong, they were helpful in their own way. They certainly planted seeds. They gave me some ahas, but ultimately it wasn't what I needed. Ultimately, what I needed was that relationship with at least one other trusted person to help me make sense of everything and to teach me the skills that I didn't have to help heal myself. So it's been my experience that while self-help books have their place, and they can certainly be a part of your journey, that it's not the be-all end-all. It's a piece, but it's not the totality of what you need. So if you find yourself in this position, please reach out to me for a free strategy session, and let's talk about how we can work together to give you a different experience of yourself, an experience of yourself that is more empowered than the one that you have now. I would love to speak to you, so please reach out and let's get on a call and talk about how we can work together to make your life absolutely amazing.